Good evening and salutations, my Y&R fans. Okay, so this conversation with Billy and Lily, Billy and Lily, this conversation with Billy and Lily, so Billy lets her know about Jill's sickness. Because when he first walked in there, and she was pretty much just kind of reaming him through the coals, like, oh, how did your press tour go, and this, that, and the third, and just one sarcastic remark after the next until she heard about the sickness, right? And then, after that point, she's apologetic. Apparently, they have history, and, she really does admire her and, like, respect her. I don't know if she loves her or anything like that, but she seemed like she's saddened by the news, right? And then Billy does something that I feel is somewhat scumbagish. He's like, I want to sit there and make sure that her legacy is, known and that her work is valued at the company. And so, I really need your help as far as, adding Abbott to the company. And I'm like, wait, let me get this straight. You told her about the sad news to pull her heartstrings into getting this name change? Are you kidding me? Not only that, but he talks about how important it is for her to, you know, how important her legacy is to the company. But I'm like, name on the company or not, it doesn't take away her work. It doesn't take away the value that she put into the company and how well the company is doing because of her. So why are you so gun ho about putting the name on a company? It's like, name or not name, it doesn't take away from what she's doing. And I think that's the part that's just so stupid from jump. Oh, I want my mother's, her interest to be, protected and stuff like that. And I'm like, she's never had a problem with her interest being protected or not. I think in reality she just wanted you to work with her. And maybe, this whole, oh, I feel like the wolves are ganging up on me or whatever, just to try to incentivize him to sit there and work with her. But in all reality, I think even Devon was like, what are you talking about? It's like, she knows that she's respected and her contributions mean a lot to the company. So why are you trying to make it seem like, oh, we got to put Abbott name on a company? Like, it's too much. And it's like, I know some people could sit there and say, well, maybe it's more for him than anything else. But it's just stupid in general that he's pushing so hard. But he does sit there and tell her to, just keep it quiet or whatever. Don't tell Devon, oh, by the way, I'm gonna need your help in trying to convince, Devon and the rest of the board to change the name and stuff. And because now she's feeling all emotional about the news, she's like, all right, I'll sit there and think about it. But now she's feeling kind of off because she's like, if I gotta sit there and try to tell him this, but I'm keeping this from him, how well do you think that conversation is gonna go? Now Devon comes in, he's like walking in, he's like, what did I just walk in on? Especially when he's like, just keep it confidential, whatever. Like, what the hell is going on? Um, Now I got to sit there and kind of go backwards, otherwise this next part is not going to make sense. So Devon and Nate are talking about Audra and being like, oh, I thought it seemed like you didn't really have any time. Like, I'm surprised you made time for us or whatever. So Devon just pretty much warns um, Nate to just kind of just keep out of what's ever going on with Audra and Tucker and everything like that. It's just bad news. Now Mamie walks in and Mamie's like, hey, listen, I know I pretty much kind of screwed up since I came back to town. I want to try to find a way to make it up. So Devon's like, okay, sell us the shares. Yeah, sell us your stake in the company. She's like, what? know how hard and how long it took me to sit there and work to get that? You want me to just, because he's like, I'm tired of you. Listen, we love you and stuff like that, but you've been making trouble since jump, and we not doing that, okay? And yet you could sit there and say, oh, I'm just gonna sit there and just kind of hang back and just be all about family and unity and stuff, but you can always change your mind at any point in time. So, you need to sit there and be shown these shares. So he leaves. Nate stays, and of course, Mamie tries to work on Nate. Oh, family's important, and we got to get him on board, and this, that, and the third. So when Devon gets back, Devon tells after Devon is like, what's going on between you and him? Tells her about maybe want to try to make things right, but is not willing to sit there and sell her shares. And when Nate comes back, Nate is like, yeah, she ain't. She's too fired up. She is not giving us the shares. Now, this story about Connor has just been handled so piss poor that I don't even know if you can even really wrap up a storyline like this because he's going to have that. It's just how he manages it is going to be the deciding factor. But they need to do something with this story and find a way to wrap it up. I don't care how, just find a way that would actually make sense because every interaction ends the same at this point. You can already guess what I'm going to sit there and say. They come back, Adam and Chelsea, and they're upset because the blah 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 blah. See, if I just said it like that, I'd be like, all right, well, good night. Essentially, that's what winds up happening. They come back and they're unhappy with the last visit because it pretty much didn't happen. Um, his OCD is getting to a point where he is hitting himself in the face, right? So, Adam feels defeated. Chelsea's like, you can't give up on our son. And, they hug. Sally walks in, and Sally just kind of stands there like a deer in headlights. And part of me is just like, you do realize they're just hugging, right? Now, it's funny because the promo says, oh, catches them in a moment. Now, when I think of moment, I think of kiss. Okay? So, all that wound up happening is that the hug, and she's just like at one point, it's like, you think that she's actually going to make a bigger deal out than what it is. Um, Chelsea finds out that she's moving in. She's like, I got questions later on about marketing. And then Chelsea leaves. And at that point, Sally is just there to sit there and support him and reassure him. So, you could just imagine how that scene goes. Um, Chelsea runs into Billy. Chelsea tells her about the visit that really didn't happen, the mark on his face, and the same depressing conversation. Now, Billy talks to her about Joe's sickness and how important it is to preserve her legacy as though a name is really going is just going to be, oh, now we know that she worked in the company because Abbott is there. Um, there's a bit of pushback from Joe. I mean, there's a bit of pushback from Chelsea as far as, um, does she even know that you're doing all this? Can you even sit there and really trust Lily? Things of that nature. Um, and Billy, he gets a little kind of defensive about it. And I'm just like, the way that Billy is going about this is just unnecessary. And I get that part of his motivation that's driving him is because of the way he handled stuff with his mom in the past, and he feels like this is his way of essentially trying to make up for all the wrongs that he has caused in the relationship. But Chelsea's like, how about you just sit there and spend some time with her? Because while you're sitting there trying to get all caught up in office politics and deals and plans and this, that, and the third. You're doing all that, but you're not doing the most important thing, which is spending time with her while she's still here. With all that, preserving her legacy is not going to really matter that much if you're not there for her in her time of need. I think that's about it. For the most part, it was good. Again, it's just when they get to Connor, and Adam, Connor, and Chelsea, it's just like it goes to a slow effing halt. And it's usually because they just have the same damn conversations all the time. Maybe part of this isn't working for me because, again, I'm not a parent. I don't have children or anything like that. So the emotional connection to the story doesn't work. But then I'm also looking at the repetitiveness of every single time that they have a visit and it goes sideways, then it just becomes self-loathing and, this is our fault. And, you know, Adam gets upset and Chelsea tries to hold it together. Chelsea gets upset and Adam tries to hold it together. And it's just like this part of the show is just not working. And I don't know what the hell they're gonna wind up doing with this, but they need to find some sort of way to write this out, send them to another facility, find a way for them to sit there and deal with it because like every single time it just gets that one. It's like everything just starts to go downhill whenever they get to this part. And I'm personally just done with it. And I know I may come across as a little heartless, but from a story perspective, I'm just kind of tired of seeing it just go that exact same way. Anyway, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Let me know in the comment section below. I didn't sit there and see my other two videos, but I'm not gonna be streaming tonight. I'm gonna sit there and take a rest day. Um, Still doing reviews. I always feel like if I'm not going to do a stream, because I always talk about all four of the soaps anyway. So if I'm not going to sit there and do a stream, then I can at least give my opinions on the four soaps, which is what I normally do anyway. It's just a little more of an in-depth conversation. But I will be streaming. I will be streaming back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So definitely come through because I do talk about the Young and the Restless. I may not always put up a title, but I do talk about the Young and the Restless too. And if something's really good and I feel like there's enough popularity with the Young and the Restless, put up a Young and the Restless title. I've been doing that a lot with B&B, and a lot of the B&B fans show up. So I would love for the Young and the Restless fans to show up. And I actually really do like doing these reviews as well. Yeah, definitely come to the live streams. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be back tomorrow. And anything I missed, we'll sit there and talk about it then.